So what I'm trying to say in essence is that the Jewish institution, they are asked to comment on the above. Whereby we'll talk about the Sanhedrin. The science is very, very important for you to note this on Sanhedrin, whereby we told us that it's the most powerful and the most influential institution, or it is the most powerful and most influential Jewish institution. And we told us that it comprises of different sects, such as the Levite, the priests, the scribes, and so on and so forth. And we told us that it is traced back to the time of Moses in the wilderness. When they were in the wilderness, Moses appointed 70 elders, 70 men to assist him in administration during the wilderness. So just let us know that this body or this council represents, it's seen as their governing body, that is the Jewish governing body, just as we have in Nigeria, just as we have the governing body, we have the three levels of governing body, where we have the federal, the state, and local. So, but that of Jew in Palestine, they have the Council of Sanhedrin as their governing body. Hope you understand. And the word Sanhedrin means to sit together, sitting together. It is the sitting together of the elders, the head of house of Israelites, and different sects such as the Levite, the priest, and so on and so forth. So what it is that they govern both religious, social, and civil matters. Hope you understand. And still, they still receive authority from the Roman government, because they are under the Roman government. And don't forget that their president is referred to as the high priest. Yes, under the leadership of the high priest. And their meeting point is in the temple. So I said synagogue earlier. It is in the temple, because then they had the temple then. So it is in the temple, or you can also say the synagogue actually. So that is where they meet to discuss matters affecting them. I hope you understand, you can hear me. Then when we talk about the Sadducee, we told us that they are from priestly family, they are Helites, wealthy people, and they are mostly lawyers, and they derive their name from Zadok the high priest. Then that's where they derive the name Sadducee. So Zadok is not like you need to know who the Zadok is. Zadok is the high priest. They only derive the name Sadducee from Zadok the high priest. So they accept the Mosaic law. Yes, the law that has been written is what they adhere strictly to. But anything like the prophetic book, traditions, any interpretation, no, they don't accept that. They follow the law strictly, and they don't accept any other interpretation to the law. And we told us that they do not accept the idea of Messiah coming from the son of David. Yes, they believe that no, the Messiah cannot come from the son of David, so they don't accept that idea. Another thing that they deny resurrection and afterlife, or existence of angel and spirit. They believe that angel does not exist, spirit does not exist, afterlife does not exist, resurrection does not exist. After death is nothing else. Once anybody died, that's the end of the world, of that person's existence. So another important thing is that they do not oppose foreign rule. You know, the Roman authority was the one ruling over the Israelites and other regions. So, but the Sadducees are always afraid, although they are wealthy people. And just like an example of those that live in glass house, they don't throw stone. So whatever the Pharisees, whatever the Roman authority asks them to do, or any authority from them, they follow it, because they don't want trouble from the Roman authority. They are always afraid, because they are wealthy people, and they don't want to tarnish their image. So they don't oppose to foreign rule. Hope you understand, because of their capacity, because they are wealthy and the like. So now we're moving to the Pharisee. The Pharisee is just like an opposite of the Sadducee. They are not priestly class. They are just a layman. they are referred to as a layman, ordinary man. But some of them are lawyers. They are lawyers. They are not from the priestly family. They are not from the Elites or wealthy people. So they believe that the law should be open to new interpretation, unlike the Sadducees. So Pharisees believe that you can also interpret the law in another way, like more in a way that will be more explanatory. So the Pharisees are open to other interpretation of the law or new interpretation of the law. And also, they are referred to as separate. Yes, they are referred to as separate because they allow the policy of separation and independence. And also, they consider ceremonial cleanliness. Yes, anything that must be done, that anything that you should do that you will not be seen as unholy, don't do it. Once you touch this, clean your hand. Once you do this, wash your hand. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Don't work on Sabbath day. Don't cook on Sabbath day. So they keep those things they address strictly to it. That is why they are referred to as separate. They behave separately. They are not like the Sadducees. They're not like the Sadducees. So they don't accept. They want to be independent on their own. Unlike the Sadducees, that whatever the Roman authority told them, they must do it because they don't want any problem. But the Pharisees, they are stubborn. They don't want any authority from the Roman government. Hope you understand. They want to be independent. Nobody should give them laws or rules to follow. Hope you understand. So they adhere strictly to the observation of the law. Also, they observe the law. They lay emphasis on ritual and tradition. Like I explained, any ritual must be done. Any tradition must be followed. So they believe in resurrection, future life, reward and punishment. Exactly. So they believe in resurrection. They believe that we have afterlife. We have reward and punishment. That is, whatever you do, you'll be rewarded, or you'll be punished for whatever you've done on earth. Hope you understand. So another thing is that they consider the outward things. Yes, that is why they have issue with Christ. What they are concerned about is the outward thing, to observe the law, to be clean, to be this, but the inward, which is the spiritual aspect, no. They give zero attention to that. Hope you understand. That is why Jesus Christ refers to them as hypocrites in the New Testament. So that is that about the Pharisees. So you move to the scribes. I want to talk about scribes. Scribes they are lawyers, and sometimes they are referred to as professional class. Yes. Unlike the Sadducees, that they are from the priestly family, they are wealthy family, and they are also lawyers. But these scribes, they are strictly lawyers. They are educated people. That's why they are referred to as distinctive professional class. Theirs is to go and to study the law. That's why they are referred to as lawyers. Another special thing about them is that they are interpreters and teachers of the Jewish law. Yes, they interpret the law. That is their business. Their business is different from Pharisees and Sadducees. Theirs is that they act as an interpreter of the law and teacher of the Jewish law. Because they are educated and they are professional lawyers, they interpret the law and they teach the Jewish law. Exactly. So another thing is that they are simply copyists. We call them copyists. Just like we have photocopy machine. The photocopy machine can copy a document into thousands of copies. Hope you understand. But then we don't have machines, we don't have things like that in those times. So the scribes are seen as copyists. Like you are given a book, make 50 copies. The scribes will be put in a particular place, and somebody will be reading it, and they will be writing it, or they can hold like this and be copying, so that we'll have many of that particular document. Since there is no machine, they copy by hand. That is why we have errors in the Bible. So they are the one in charge of copying the scripture and interpreting the scripture. So their work is nothing but to copy. Yeah, what they do is that they copy and recopy and recopy, so that we have a lot of Old Testament book in those times. So that we have a lot of Bible now. You know this current time now we have Bibles here and there. You can go to the bookshop and buy it. But then it is copying, so that we have copies. So their own work is to copy and copy. So by deviation, they become experts in copying and interpreting the law. So they are experts in copying and interpreting the law. Another thing you need to note about them is that They are referred to as custodians of knowledge and information. Because if you are a copier, like you are copying the same book over and over again, you are reading and copying, so you'll be an expert on what you do. You have that knowledge, you have them. Like somebody that is reading Bible constantly, whatever passage, you just be bringing out passages, start reading this, start reading that, like in the book of this, in the book of that. So there's that refers to as custodian, where you can get information from, where you can get knowledge from. That's why they are teachers, because they copy, they know what they are reading, what they copy. So that's why they are teachers of the Jewish law. So they assist in making legal decisions. Since they are mostly, or they are strictly lawyers, they assist in making legal decisions. And they act as secretary in the synagogue. Yes, in the synagogue, we have people that are in charge of documents. It is the scribes. They have that secretary. They keep information. They keep the scripture. They keep things, documents in the synagogue. So I'll move to zealot and essence. Zealot and essence is not really, but you can just read on them. The zealots, they came into existence due to the restriction of the Roman rule. Yes, they don't want Roman rule on them, just like the Pharisee. The Pharisee does not want anything like Romans authority giving them laws to follow. So also the zealot movement, or zealots, came up as a restriction to the Roman rule by violent means. The difference between zealots and Pharisee, they don't use violence means, but they don't want to adhere to the Roman authority. Hope you understand. But the zealots, theirs is that violently they don't want Roman rule. So hope you understand. So they said by violent means based on the theoretic state. Yes, they believe that they are having theoretical rule. That is, it is God that is ruling on them. So nobody should be giving them rules. Hope you understand. That is, theoretic means theocracy, or let me use the word theocratic state. Theocracy is the rule of God over man. So they believe that Yahweh is their ruler, is their king, is their God. So no other ruler should give them any rules to follow. So that is why they move violently against the Roman authority or rule. So, and their founder was Judah in Galilean. Judah the Galilean. Their founder was Judah the Galilean. So they played a decisive role in war against Roman authority. Yes, they fight a lot of war. They fought a lot of war in Roman authority during the 66 to 70 AD. Yes, and it is during this war that they later went into extinction. But the Pharisees and Sadducees, I think they did not really went into extinction. But these zealots, they quickly went into extinction during the war in 66 to 70 AD. Many of the survivors of that war, they took refuge to another place which is referred to as Masada. There's another region referred to as Masada. So that is where some of the survivors during this war, they went there. And some of them, they commit suicide. Yes, that's for me to be killed by the Roman authority. No, let me kill myself. You understand? That is what those survivors did. So they commit suicide to avoid being captured by the Roman authority. That is how they went into extinction. So it's also a Jewish institution. But when we mean extinction means they no longer exist. Hope you understand. So now the essence, just like the zealots, the essence movement started as a reaction against the worldliness and illegitimate behavior of the then world. Yes, the own is that they see that sin is becoming multiplied in the world. People are indulging themselves in immorality. So, okay, we don't want to follow multitude, we don't want to do evil, let's bring ourselves together. They are the one referred to as monks and so on. So, because of the worldliness and the sinful act of human being in that world, in that period, they want to live an ascetic life, a separate life, so that they want to live away from that mundane world, not only mundane, from the corrupt world. So they went to the wilderness. They leave the society and went into the wilderness to stay there, so that their eyes will not be seeing the immoralities done by other people. So they live an ascetic life. They left the society that is filled with immorality. They stayed in the cave or in the monarch. Hope you understand. They are referred to as the monks. So they stayed in the cave. They went into the wilderness. They lived the society. Stay away let people, if they want to do their immorality, let them continue their immorality, but we want to live an ascetic life. So they live in the wilderness of Qumran community. Yes, there's a particular wilderness called Qumran community near the Red Sea, near the Dead Sea, not even Red Sea, it's called Dead Sea. So they left the society and went to the Qumran community near the Dead Sea. They were there meditating on law. Yes, they were able to read the Bible, meditating, connecting with God, and expecting the things that will happen at the end time. Hope you understand. They were expecting the eschatological experience. What means eschatology? Eschatology means things that happens that will happen at the end time, whereby the world will be over. Hope you understand. So they were there meditating, connecting with God, and expecting things that will happen in the end time. Even till now, the end time has not come. Hope you understand. So these are the sets. Even then, they also went into extinction after some time. Extinction means they no longer exist. Is that clear? So these are the Jewish institutions that we had then. So now move to number 4. Hellenistic period. Okay, let me put down the question. Discuss the impact of Hellenistic culture, the Roman political structure on the development of early Christianity. You discuss the impact of Hellenistic culture. We talk about Hellenistic and Roman influence. Hope you understand. So that is what that question is talking about. You discuss the impact of Hellenistic culture and Roman political structure on the development of early Christianity. So what you need to do is talk about Hellenistic. What is Hellenistic? Or what is Hellenization? Hope you understand. Is that you explain Hellenistic or Hellenization? You know that Hellenistic is a period of Jewish culture whereby people were being forced to like live in the the Grecians way. Or we can just explain it this way, that Hellenization was a policy, yes, the policy of spreading the Grecian culture so that people would live in the Greek way of life. A policy of spreading the Grecian culture around the world, and the conversion of all the people of the world to the Greek way of life. They want to convert people, live in the Greek way of life. Let's first focus on reasoning. Use your physical, your mental thinking. Hope you understand. Don't believe in what they tell you. Don't believe in superstition. Don't believe in tradition. You can ask questions, make questions, be inquisitive. Hope you understand. That is Hellenistic age. That is, they want to like convert. It's like converting everybody, all the people of that world, into Grecian way of life or Greek way of life. And Hellenistic. When we talk about Hellenistic, the Roman background. Okay, when we talk about Hellenistic and the Roman background, Hellenistic. No, we're talking about Hellenistic culture and the Roman political structure. It is broadly from 330 BC to 330 AD. 330 BC to 330 AD. It started from Alexandria to Constantine. Alexandria represents the Greek, hope you understand, Greek culture, Greek influence. While Constantine represents the Roman authority. Hope you understand. Constantine is the Roman emperor, while Alexandria is the Grecian Greek king. So why some scholars divided those periods into two. Some scholars say that the period is divided into two. They have 200 BC and 200 AD. You know, I told us the first one is according to the research that it is broadly divided into two: 330 BC and 330 AD, from Alexandria to Constantine. Why some scholars say that this period is divided into two: 200 BC and 200 AD. So that is just that. So for the first century, which is the first part, which is the Grecian culture, the Greek influence, that's the first part. The second part is the Roman influence. Don't forget, we'll talk about this in class. So for the first part, the Greek culture was creative. That is one thing about the Greek culture. They were creative and they were expansive. They were moving. They were penetrating the Eastern Mediterranean world. Yes, doing that. But you know, I told us in class that Greek culture was an ancient culture, like it exists before the Roman authority. So it was creative, whereby you have education, creation of weapons with something very easy. War became something that is very easy. Using chemicals, using bombs, and they just sit and relax, and they will have victory over their enemies. Unlike before, whereby you have cutlass, before you can kill 500 people, you will have been very, very tired. But bomb, just throw it and everybody's dead. Hope you understand. So that they are very, very creative. That is the Greek culture. That is why they were able to spread to a very large place of the world. So, however, you tell us how this culture began spreading. What aided the spread of the culture? So you can start by telling us that the Greek culture began. The Greek culture began when Philip II. I told us Philip II is who? Is the father of Alexandria. He is the king of Macedonia, the father of Alexandria. That's Philip II. So it began, that is, the Greek culture began with Philip II, the king of Macedonia, who brought Aristotle. He brought Aristotle. Aristotle is a Greek philosopher. Hope you understand. He brought Aristotle to educate his son. Philip II brought Aristotle to educate his son. You have to learn the story. To educate his son Alexandra. So Philip II made war more stressful. He made war less stressful. Since he's bringing the Greek culture into his own brain. He brought somebody to teach his son. So they introduced those chemical weapons to him. Whereby you see that war now became less stressful. Not like before, the way it used to be. So war became more stressful. He fought year round. He was just fighting battle, accumulating territories, because he has gained the simplest way to fight war from the Greek culture. Hope you understand. So chemical weapon was used in fighting war. So he became the ruler of all Greece after a lot of battle. That is that Philip II, the father of Alexander, became the ruler of the Grecian region then, or the Grecian country. So, but in 336 BC, he was assassinated. Hope you understand. He was assassinated by the Persian ruler. So that is where he ended his own life. So Alexandra inherited his father's monarchy and plan. Hope you understand. After the father died, which is Philip, Alexandra inherited his father's monarchy. So he became the king, and he planned to revenge, because somebody that killed his father. So he wanted to revenge on the Persian ruler. So that is what he strived to do. So another thing is that any city that tried to revolt, he destroyed that city, because now he already gained the experience from his mentor and his let me call him his mentor. Aristotle was the one that educates Alexandria. Hope you understand. So, and he planned to destroy the one that killed his father. Another thing is that when he was able to kill the king of Persia, which is Darius II, at that particular time, the king of Persia was Darius II. So it was until when he killed that person that he received the title Alexander the Great. Hope you understand. He was fighting out of battle. He was having victory over them, and he was expanding his territory. So it was until when he killed Darius II, the king of Persia, that is the person that the empire that killed his father. So when he killed Darius II, he received the title Alexander the Great. And afterwards, his conquest, he recognized the need to spread the Grecian culture. After he conquered, he was now spreading the Grecian culture. That is, no, let people also come and learn, let people be educated. Let us share this among ourselves. He wanted to make the then world. He wanted to analyze them, to make them reason in the Grecian culture. Hope you understand. So he spread the Greek culture all over the city, and he made Greek language a koine, Koine, as a common language, so that people start speaking Greek and they start behaving thinking in the Greek way. Hope you understand. So they started using their thinking faculty. They started reasoning instead of believing in tradition or what their forefathers has told them. So he made effort to analyze the then world and to unite the whole world in that particular time. So once you explain that, just tell us his influence. You now say that the following are the influence of Alexandria. Number one is the movement of Greek abroad. Yes, he made Greek culture to be universal. So he moved the Greek culture abroad. That is, wherever place that he gained territory, he made sure that he influenced them with the Greek culture. He influenced them with the Greek way of life. Number two is the emergence of one world economically. Yes, the world was it unites the world economically, whereby people can come and buy and sell. So because his aim is to unite the world. Another thing is that the spread of Greek language. Yes, it made Greek language a common language. And all these things, they are going to tell us how it assists or it aids the growth of Christianity. The first one, which is the movement of Greek abroad, whereby Greek culture was spread. People start asking questions. They start asking the disciples of Christ questions. So this made the theologians also to be ready to answer. Because I told us then that if there's a new faith and people are asking them questions or trying to nail them, they should be able to stand. They should be able to defend their faith. So this made Christianity be able to defend their faith. So the spreading of one world economically, the disciples of Christ are able to travel from one place to another. So it assists Christianity in spreading, because he is not bothered about Christianity. He's bothered about making the world a better place. People should be educated. He made Greek the official language. So this also helped the writers. The Bible was translated into Greek, whereby even the preachers they were compelled to learn the Greek language so that they can communicate with their new converts. Hope you understand. So the spread of Greek language, number one. Number four, high level of education. People were educated. Paul also, because Paul was educated in law, in Greek culture, and so on and so forth. This made him to be able to answer questions. He was able to write his epistles due to his education, and he was able to move from one place to another. So now the last one is the emergence of philosophers as a way of life. So we now have different philosophers. So people start thinking critically. They start asking questions. They were inclusive in all things, unlike before. So I told us that we have a lot of influence, but I just mentioned 5. The first one is the movement of Greek abroad, while the second one is the emergence of one world economically. Another one is the spread of Greek language. Another one is the high level of education. Everybody is high level of education. The last one is the emergence of philosophers as a way, or philosophy, the emergence of philosophy as a way of life. Whereby people start asking questions, they start believing in things that with evidence, unlike things that are not real. So that is that about the Greek culture. We can just say over the years, Greek philosopher started developing rejection of forms of religion. Yes, that is their the disadvantaged part, whereby they started rejecting any form of different religion, but they want people to just use their normal sense to ask questions critically and not believe in things that are mystical or something like that. So after that, you can just explain that after the 200 BC, the nature of the culture of Egypt, Palestine, Syria, and Asia began to reassert themselves, and the Greek element began to retreat. This is when Greek element was reducing. After 200 BC, the Greek culture began to wane down, to reduce. The Roman influence began to expand. That is when Roman influence came into being. It began to expand. And what are the Roman influence? You have to explain the Hellenistic and the Roman political structure. And you explain the Hellenistic by telling us how the Greek culture spread through Philip II and his son Alexander the Great. And you told us the influence. Now you move to the Roman contribution or Roman culture. So one thing about the Roman political structure is legal contribution. They contributed to the growth of Christian legally, in the sense that Christianity was referred to as illegal religion. Hope you understand. Christianity was referred to as illegal religion, but the Roman authority made it a legal religion under the reign of Emperor Constantine. So religion was indeed, so the Roman authority, religion is something important to them, but to the Greek culture, religion is not important. What was important is to be creative, to be expansive, to bring in new innovations. Hope you understand. But so what I'm trying to say is that to the Roman authority, religion is important to them. Why to the Greek? They don't take religion as something important. So I told us that the Roman authority declared Christianity as a legal religion. Why before it was seen as illegal, whereby the Christian was persecuted. But under the Emperor Constantine, Christianity was declared as a legal religion. So that is how they actually aided the growth of Christianity. So we thought us, okay, I said under this emperor, Paul was able to preach. Even not just Paul, all the gospel preachers, they were able to preach the gospel without the fear of molestation, without the fear of persecution, because as at this time, there has been a law, it has been passed that Christianity is a legal religion and nobody should disturb them. Hope you understand. So people were able to move from one place to another to gain more converts. So during this time, Christianity was seen as a legal religion. Another thing that the Roman contributed was the construction of road. Yes, they construct road. But people were able to move from one place to another. You know, Apostle Paul, during his life, he was a traveler. He was moving from one place to another, from Corinth to Syria, to different places. He was moving. He was writing epistles, if not for the education that he had, and if not for the good road that was made available by the Roman authority, then we will not have all these things. Like, they will not be moving, and the gospel will not have spread to certain places. So it was due to the construction of good roads that made the gospel to be spread to a wide, larger number of people. So another thing is the contribution of military garrison. Yes, the Emperor Constantine made the military aspect to be very, very tight, whereby there is no external attack from any place. And also, he made sure that these soldiers of him were converted to Christianity, because Emperor Constantine was a Christian. He was a Christian emperor. Hope you understand. So his soldiers were also converted to Christians. So another thing is the peace, Roman peace, which is referred to as Pax Romana, which is Roman peace. So during that period, there were peace, there were perfect peace. Nothing like persecution, nothing like molestation. So during the time of Emperor Constantine, there was total peace, which aided the spread of Christianity, whereby gospel was spread to all parts of the region then. And we know that since the preachers, they already know how to speak Greek, and it aided new converts. They had new converts. Even if you are not a Jew, you are a Greek, we can speak Greek, we can explain the gospel to you. So this aids the growth of Christianity. So once you are done with that, just summarize. Once you summarize, you are done. Now move to the next one, which you are familiar with. According to Tertullian, the blood of the martyr is the seed of the church. Yes, I think we discussed this in the class. The blood of the martyr is the seed of the church. That is according to Tertullian. So how true is this statement? So if you ask this question, that according to such scholar, the blood of the martyr is the seed of the church. And I think we discussed that extensively in the class. Number one thing you need to talk about is, who is Tertullian? Now, Tertullian is a Christian scholar. Yes, you have to tell us who Tertullian was and what is a martyr. No, we told us that a martyr is somebody that died in respect of his faith. So, all the disciples of Christ, even Paul, those that came as a representative of Christ in the world, they are all persecuted. Some were killed were thrown in the hot oil, while some were crucified upside down, and so on and so forth. So tell us who a martyr is. Give us example, and tell us how these disciples or followers are referred to as a martyr, because they all died for the cause of the gospel. They did not relent. Had they been these people, they went into Eden. They did not preach the gospel. There will be nothing like Christianity now. Yes, we will not have Christian as a religion, but these people, they had faith. They believe that once they die, their reward is in heaven. Hope you understand. So if not for what they have done, preaching the gospel in the face of great persecution, they were preaching and they were teaching others to do so, because Christ gave them a commission. He told them that they should go into the world to preach the gospel, teaching and baptizing the people, and also to teach others to do so. Even Paul, after teaching people, he will encourage them to also teach others to do so. So if not for these people that were preaching the gospel without fear of being killed, the church or the Christianity would not have stand to date. You can just tell us the meaning of seed. That when you put a particular seed in the soil, it will germinate. So if not for the disciples or the followers of Christ, they made sacrifice, they made themselves, or they symbolized seed of Christianity, of the Christian religion, and which was planted in the soil. Hope you understand? Because they were all killed, they were all persecuted. So their effort was not in vain, because it continues. Because they were teaching others. They did not leave it to themselves. That knowledge given to them by Christ was not limited to them, because Christ gave them the commission to teach others, which they also did so. So just tell us how the disciple are referred to as the seed of the church. And the important is that if they have not done what they did, if they have not preached the gospel without fear of being killed and so on and so forth, Christianity will not have stand today. So just summarize and you are done with that. So I think that is that. In case you are asked to talk about the Roman contributions to the early church, it's just what we've discussed in the Hellenization and the Roman contributions. You know that the Roman contributions is a legal contribution, construction of roads, the Roman peace, commerce, which is whereby people were able to come from one place to another to do their business. So these are the contributions of Romans or Roman authority to the early Christianities. So once you are done with that, I think you are good. Just make sure that the note I gave you go through it, and you answer it based on the structure I gave to you in the first class, whereby give introduction, then move to the content of your work. Then at the end, you conclude. Always conclude in your writing. And I wish you best of luck in the exam or missing the exam. Thank you. So bye for now. Thank you very much. Remain blessed.